So just talking about the wellness boosting benefits of soil microbes, which are pretty awesome. So we all know, let me adjust this a little bit so I'm not looking off to the side of you. So we all know, and we are learning, science is coming out more and more with the health links between human health and the microbes that are found in our gut, in our mouth, in our nasal passages, and other inhabitants in, on, and around us. So things like microbes, bacteria, fungi, all those things that kind of make us cringe to think about are actually really in the right balances and the right numbers and the right species are really great for our health. So these microbes actually outnumber our own human cells 10 to 1. And the normal microbe makeup of a healthy human collection is about 3 pounds. So the amount of microbes that are within your body and without your body on your skin weigh about as much as your brain does. So they really do have a huge impact on our health and specifically on our brain health and function. So the healthcare community is looking a lot now at treating various disorders by introducing targeted species. And you see these in probiotics and prebiotics, and those just really help to balance out our natural gut flora and fauna to kind of more healthy levels. So the same biodiversity that's found in our bodies, not the same, but the similar idea of biodiversity that's found in our bodies is also found in soil, and specifically unsterilized soil. So a lot of commercially used soils and different farming practices have kind of sterilized soil, and so these microbes exist in more virgin or natural forms of soil. So it's so important that our food is grown in healthy bio-rich soil so that the plants are able to absorb those nutrients, and then we in turn are able to absorb those nutrients from the plants when we eat them. So for more of kind of a direct hands-on correlation of health benefits is not so much just ingesting through the plants that we're eating, but also the direct contact that we have with soil. And this is really, there's so many more and more studies coming out that really show that this is so beneficial to live closely with the microbe communities that are in the soil. So some of the benefits that have been found with interaction with microbes are a boost to the immune system. You hear this talked about a lot with kids, letting them get outside and get dirty. So it helps to boost your immune system, but also helps to develop a strong, healthy immune system. Fewer allergies, better digestion, again, gut flora, less heart disease, better stress management, natural antidepressant, and can help to reduce anxiety, and also has been shown to increase cognitive function. So antidepressants, this is one that I find absolutely fascinating. So I meant to look up how to pronounce this, so I'm going to butcher this for you guys. So there's a specific microbe called Mycobacterium vaccae, and so this is under study and has been found to actually mirror the effects on neurons that drugs such as Prozac have. This is done in the fact that it stimulates serotonin production, and we know that serotonin, the lack of it, is linked to depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar problems. And so when you have a balanced amount of serotonin, this is linked to relaxation and happiness, or the absence of depression, anxiety, and all those other disorders. So there was this really amazing study done, and I'm going to actually link the article that I found on this because it was pretty interesting. There was a neuroscientist at the University of Bristol who actually injected that Mycobacterium vaccae, or M. vaccae, into mice and subjected them to a bunch of stress tests. And their behavior, the ones who were inoculated with the soil soil bacteria versus the ones who weren't, actually performed way better in these stress tests. In fact, they actually acted in such a way that they would if they had been inoculated with an antidepressant. So it's pretty interesting. So they did brain scans on these mice, and they found that the bacteria actually activated groups of neurons in the mouse brains that are responsible for producing serotonin, but also the areas that are related to immune response. So this is suggesting that there's a really close connection between immune system and emotional and mental health. And they're also finding more and more proof that depression and other mental health conditions are associated with prolonged inflammation. Now, inflammation is such a huge thing that we can get into super in depth on a whole other video. But for this, inflammation is a sure sign of immune system problems. So there's all kinds of other studies out there. I mean, if you type into Google like soil microbes benefits of, or soil microbes brain benefits, you'll just find so much that are out there for like I said, brain health, but also physiological health as well. Hey, Brandon. So they're seeing things, studies that are showing that it's improving cognitive function, Crohn's disease, and even rheumatoid arthritis. So we know that we're finding it's these situations where I want to say it's shown to and it does, but I suppose the more proper way to say it is it may, or it is studies are showing. So I'm just going to say it does. Where was I at in my notes? I go off on a tangent. This is why I keep notes, you guys. So, okay, so there's all of these benefits. So how do you get them? Like, how do you connect with the soil in order to receive these benefits? And the short answer is go out and get dirty. The long answer is there's a few different ways. So inhaling, and when I say that, no, please do not go out and sniff and inhale and snort the dirt. This is more so in just the particles found in the air. So when you're out digging and moving around dirt, you're going to get some of those little particles up in the air. You're going to end up breathing those in. I joke with my husband all the time after we do like a long day of yard work on the property. You blow your nose and you get the black snot. So that's good because it's getting into your system. Topical contact. So your skin is the largest organ in your body, and it is very permeable. So studies have shown with toxins that it only takes about 26 seconds for toxins to be shown in the bloodstream after topical contact. And the same can be said for beneficial things such as soil microbes, essential oils, things like that. So topical application, I don't know if we could really look at just playing in the dirt as an application, but hey, why not? It's therapeutic. Getting into the bloodstream, so more directly than just entering the permeability of your skin, but actually getting into your bloodstream directly through nicks or cuts on your hands, your feet, or other pathways for infection. You can also ingest it. Again, you're absorbing those nutrients indirectly through breaking down the food that you're eating, but also if you are eating foraged or garden fresh fruit. Now, obviously, if you're buying food from the store, you're going to want to wash it. There's been lots of hands, maybe pesticides, herbicides, so wash things that come from the store. But if you are pulling these food items from either foraged from the forest or from your garden that you know you haven't used any harmful chemicals on, then eat it without washing it. You're going to have little micro bits of soil on there and getting those benefits from the soil microbes. So all of these beneficial effects of the soil bacteria in studies have been shown to last for up to 3 weeks. So you can feel those benefits. One day of playing out in the soil can benefit you for up to 3 weeks, which is pretty awesome. Now that being said, I would say, don't limit your dose just because it lasts for 3 weeks. You can get kind of that build up and just go outside every day and play in the dirt and get even more benefit. So there's a pretty ancient relationship between humans and bacteria. I'm not going to go into evolution here, but our ancestors prior to sterilization techniques lived for centuries with a host of parasites, fungus, bacteria, and obviously some of those were not good, but a lot of them were really beneficial, and they may have actually kind of had a leg up from what we have. So those bacteria may have caused an initial infection, but they end up evolving alongside us and kind of creating a symbiotic relationship as they go. And the result back then was actually a much more a much more clarified immune system. So your immune system, because it's being exposed to so much, is able to differentiate easier what is good and what is bad. And so you don't end up with these immune systems that are attacking their own systems, their own bodies. And you see that with the increase of autoimmune disorders nowadays. So like I said, nowadays there's just skyrocketing instances of gut issues, allergies, autoimmune disease, and disorders. And they're really starting to be linked to our modern day obsession with cleanliness, modern medicine's aggressive use of antibiotics, pasteurized food, which I know is really highly debatable, kind of a hot topic, but indoor living and just pretty much anything that's eradicating these old friends from our system. So really just being able to live a little less afraid of bacteria, because they're not all bad. And so specifically these soil microbes are pretty awesome and beneficial in what they can do for our health and wellness, our mental health, aside from just the simple pleasantry of getting to get outside. So